Part 2, Grow Chapter 5, Purpose. When your natural talents and passions, your Varna, connect with what the universe needs, sever, and become your purpose, you are living in your Dharma. When you spend your time and energy living in your Dharma, you have the satisfaction of using your best abilities and doing something that matters to the world. Living in your Dharma is a certain route to fulfillment. This is the magic formula for Dharma. Passion plus expertise plus usefulness equals Dharma. Everything you are. There are two lies some of us hear when we're growing up. The first is you'll never amount to anything. The second is you can be anything you want to be. The truth is, you can't be anything you want. But you can be everything you are. The Bhagavad Gita says that it's better to do one's own Dharma imperfectly than to do another's perfectly. Or, as Steve Jobs put it in his 2005 Stanford commencement address, your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Align with your passion. In order to unveil our Dharma, we have to identify our passions, the activities we both love and are naturally inclined to do well. It's clear to anyone who looks at the quadrants of potential that we should be spending as much time as possible at the upper right, in quadrant 2, doing things that we're both good at and love. Jay Shetty then talks about Varnas. The Bhagavad Gita contemplates Dharma by dividing us into 4 personality types, what it calls Varnas. There are 4 Varnas, and knowing your Varna tells you your nature and competence. The different personality types are meant to work together in a community, like the organs in a body, all essential and none superior to the others. The 4 Varnas are the guide, the leader, the creator, and the maker. For example, creators. Originally, merchants, business people. Today, marketers, salespeople, entertainers, producers, entrepreneurs, CEOs. Skills, brainstorming, networking, innovating. Originally, artists, musicians, creatives, writers. Today, social workers, therapists, doctors, nurses, COOs, heads of human resources, artists, musicians, engineers, coders, carpenters, cooks. Skills, inventing, supporting, implementing. Guides originally and today, teachers, guides, gurus, coaches, mentors. Skills, learning, studying, sharing knowledge, and wisdom. Leaders originally, kings, warriors. Today, military, justice, law enforcement, politics. Skills, governing, inspiring, engaging others. The point of the Varnas is to help you understand yourself so you can focus on your strongest skills and inclinations. Chapter 6, Routine. Location has energy, time has memory. Early to rise. Jay Shetty's first recommendation is to wake up 1 hour earlier than you do now. The energy and mood of the morning carries through the day, so making life more meaningful begins there. Every morning, make some time for thankfulness. Express gratitude to someone, some place, or something every day. This includes thinking it, writing it, and sharing it. The evening routine. Your morning is defined by the evening. If you want to wake up in the morning with intention, you need to start that momentum by establishing a healthy, restful evening routine, and so the attention we've given the mornings begins to expand and define the entire day. The emotion you fall asleep with at night is most likely the emotion you'll wake up with in the morning. Location has energy. Routines aren't just about actions, they're also about the locations in which those actions take place. There's a reason people study better in libraries and work better in offices. Each environment, from the biggest city to the smallest corner of a room, has its own particular energy. Time has memory. When we tailor our locations for specific purposes, we're better able to summon the right kind of energy and attention. Doing something at the same time every day helps us remember to do it, commit to it, and do it with increasing skill and facility. Single tasking time and location help us maximize the moment, but there is one essential component to being wholly present in that moment: single tasking. Studies have found that only 2% of us can multitask effectively. Most of us are terrible at it, especially when one of those tasks requires a lot of focus. Going all the way routines become easier if you've done something immersively. If you want to bring a new skill into your life, I recommend that you kick it off with single-pointed focus for a short period of time. Chapter 7: The Mind, the Charioteer's Dilemma. The monkey mind in the Hitopadesa, an ancient Indian text by Narayana. The mind is compared to a drunken monkey that's been bitten by a scorpion and haunted by a ghost. The Bhagavad Gita states, "For him who has conquered the mind is the best of friends, but for one who has failed to do so, his very mind will be the greatest enemy." The monkey mind is a child and the monk mind is an adult. The parent and the child cries when it doesn't get what it wants, ignoring what it already has. The impulsive, desire-driven child mind is tempered by the judicious, pragmatic adult mind, which says, "That's not good for you," or "Wait until later." The parent is the smarter voice. If well trained, it has self-control, reasoning power, and is a debating champ. Drive the chariot of the mind beyond the parent-child model. The monk teachings have another analogy for the competing voices in our heads. In the Upanishads, the working of the mind is compared to a chariot being driven by 5 horses. In this analogy, the chariot is the body, the horses are the 5 senses, the reins are the mind, and the charioteer is the intellect. Invest in the conscious mind. If your mind says, "You can't do this," respond by saying to yourself, "You can do it. You have the ability." Reframe and build a relationship with that pessimistic child's voice. Your adult voice will get stronger as you read, research, apply, and test. Nothing owns you. Only by detaching can we truly gain control of the mind. Detachment is not that you own nothing, but that nothing should own you. How to detach from now on? Think of austerities as a detachment boot camp. There are infinite austerities or challenges you can try: giving up TV or your phone, sweets or alcohol, taking on a physical challenge, abstaining from gossip, complaining, and comparing. Chapter 8: Ego, Catch Me If You Can. The arrogant ego desires respect, whereas the humble worker inspires respect. You can only keep up the myth of your own importance for so long. If you don't break your ego, life will break it for you. Humility. The ego is two-faced. One moment it tells us we're great at everything, and the next moment it tells us we're the worst. Either way, we are blind to the reality of who we are. True humility is seeing what lies between the extremes. True humility is one step beyond simply repressing the ego. The quality of self-realization in Think Like a Monk, a passage highlights. I heard another way of thinking about this from Rodinath Swami, when he was giving a talk at the London Temple about the qualities we need for self-realization. He told us to be like salt and pointed out that we only notice salt when there is too much of it in our food, or not enough. Nobody ever says, "Wow, this meal has the perfect amount of salt." When salt is used in the best way possible, it goes unrecognized. Salt is so humble that when something goes wrong, it takes the blame, and when everything goes right, it doesn't take credit. Build confidence, not ego. Humility allows you to see your own strengths and weaknesses clearly, so you can work, learn, and grow. Confidence and high self-esteem help you accept yourself as you are, humble, imperfect, and striving. Let's not confuse an inflated ego with healthy self-esteem. The ego wants everyone to like you. High self-esteem is just fine if they don't. The ego thinks it knows everything. Self-esteem thinks it can learn from anyone. The ego wants to prove itself. Self-esteem wants to express itself.